This video is brought to you by Ground News. Stick around to hear more about the special offer they are providing to the entire upper echelon community. I always kind of struggle on how to start these types of videos. Some sort of long soliloquy about our declining democracy? Do I go for the shock factor? The president promoted a scam. Or do I make an effort to cross the battle lines, spend 15 minutes softening people up so they don't rage out and click off the video the second I say something that even mildly criticizes their political beliefs? Honestly, I don't even think there is a right answer. Most everyone these days is completely desensitized to the concept of immoral behavior to begin with. No matter what you say, some group of people will inevitably feel offended, and the long-form philosophical rants are often boring. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and get started, I guess. There's this persistent atmosphere among the defenders and supporters of Donald Trump that many of the things he does are comedic in nature. And truth be told, it's not even really all that far-fetched. There's Donald Trump trading cards or NFTs that display him as a superhero. The White House social media accounts routinely display AI-generated graphics of the president as a Jedi, or Sith rather, maybe the Pope. Deification is the word of the day here, as his most loyal supporters appear to practically worship him, with perhaps no better singular example than this video right here that the president posted to his very own social media profile.
Donald is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one.
Pretty absurd clip on its face, right? Women with beards dancing in Gaza, giant gold statues of Trump, Elon Musk prancing around under raining dollar bills. It's utterly ridiculous. But with that level of absurdity, that insane level of absurdity, comes a rather well-couched immediate follow-up of, well, he's just trolling people. It's not even inaccurate to say, really. Various government agencies and current officials are posting memes constantly when they arrest drug offenders, for example, and making ASMR chain videos before deportation flights. The atmosphere of the current presidency is very much provocative humor. But now I want to play something else for you, with a very different connotation to it. This is a clip that was posted, briefly, by Donald Trump, before getting pulled down following backlash.
Breaking now. President Donald J. Trump has announced a historic new healthcare system, the launch of America's first MedBed hospitals and a national MedBed card for every citizen.
Every American will soon receive their own MedBed card. With it, you'll have guaranteed access to our new hospitals led by the top doctors in the nation, equipped with the most advanced technology in the world. These facilities are safe, modern, and designed to restore every citizen to full health and strength. This is the beginning of a new era in American healthcare.
In this first phase, only a limited number of MedBed cards will be released. Registration details will be announced very soon.
That didn't feel like a joke, did it? It's an AI fabrication, obviously, but there's no segment about this on Fox News with Laura Trump. There is no new healthcare system or MedBed hospitals opening, and there never will be. Donald Trump didn't say any of those things himself, but he's posting AI faked videos saying them to his supporters. Why? This isn't a meme. It's not him as a Greek god or a golden statue or even wearing a crown. It's actual medical policy promises as himself that he's implicitly endorsing as a result of that post, which isn't just fake, mind you. It's an active mechanism for scamming vulnerable people by name that the president himself has now amplified. That is a problem. Now, something I find to be incredibly interesting and tragic is that because of how the media ecosystem works, the people that need to know this is fake the most will probably never even hear about it. If you look at the ground news coverage for this event, shout out to today's video sponsor, you'll see that only 11% of the coverage comes from outlets leaning to the right, and that flatly 0 outlets on the fully conservative side of the political spectrum have so far chosen to talk about it. Political echo chambers are an issue, especially when the subject matter is an actual scam, promoted by the president to his most loyal followers. But if you want to make an effort to break out of that framework, ground news is a viable method of trying to do that. It's best classified as an aggregate service, gathering up all sorts of mainstream and independent news sources, putting them together in a single feed, and providing as much information as possible to readers. The website gives bias ratings, clarifies corporate ownership, and just to be sure, before I agreed to work with them, I did a 6-month trial period using the service myself, looking at their methodology, and basically treating them like I would any other company I investigate, which is why I continue working with them on a regular basis. Having a top-down view of news stories from all over the political and geographic spectrum is much more valuable than falling into an echo chamber on either side. So a tool that manages to pull things together and expose readers to content they otherwise wouldn't see, even if they choose not to believe it or pursue it, which is their prerogative, they're allowed to do that, at the very least being exposed to that information has no possible downside. That's what Ground News is for. There's a bunch of other tools available on the website as well, like blind spot coverage or personal bias checkers, but for whatever reason you decide, if you click the link down below in the description or scan the QR code to sign up, you'll get 40% off the Vantage plan today. Again, link down below, ground.news/echelon for 40% off the Vantage plan today. Big thank you to Ground News for sponsoring the channel. Anyway, back on task. This video, promoted by the president, depicting the president saying a bunch of medical policies that are not real, isn't just an innocent fan creation, okay? Let's take a look at what the video actually is. First, the MedBed card displayed in the video has its own website. It was registered in August of 2025, recently, very recently, and the owners have opted to shield their identities from the public, because obviously, it's a scam. Next, if you click their little fake technology questionnaire and go through it, you find this page, which is a fear-based limited stock warning meant to get people's email addresses. But wait, because if you time-lapse it for a couple minutes, the rapidly depleting limited stock pauses completely at 865. And then if you refresh the page, it's back to 760. That's already enough for me to understand that this page is completely fake, but of course, before any limp-dick defenders crawl out of the woodwork to try and make excuses right now, the president would never promote a scam, it's just a glitch or a bug. No, it's not. If you check out the page source code, you can see that these names right here, the ones that, cycle through, are built straight into the website. They just randomly cycle from the same pool every time it's opened. They're not calling from some actual database of customers or buyers. This number, the depleting stock, is hard-coded to start at 760, end at 865, and increase in random increments of 1, 4, or 7. What I'm trying to say is that this is a completely fabricated marketing page in every sense of the word. And if you go to the actual products themselves, eventually, there's a false discount. Instead of $1,500 for one of these miracle medical cards promoted by the fucking president, you can get one for $447. But if you read the FAQ, the card has nothing to do with miracle hospitals opening in January as a result of Donald Trump, because they do not and will not exist. That's already bad enough, and I challenge anyone out there to justify for me why it's okay that the president openly promoted a medical scam to millions of people. But let's figure out where this actually came from. Obviously, it's a massive operation, right? Or something, with extremely well-fabricated credentials. If the president himself, the genius of our time, is going to fall for it or choose to promote it. So let's see. No, not so much. The oldest example of this video that I could find anywhere online is from a 651 follower scam Instagram account, which posted the video 4 days ago. This obviously isn't the person who originally made the video, because it's not the right file, but it's the oldest example I could currently find. After that, 3 days ago, an account named Chrissy Allen with 581 followers posted the video on Truth Social, Donald Trump's own social media platform, after which he amplified it. I want to read what she actually posted, by the way, to hopefully demonstrate the level of sophistication and intelligence we've encountered with this one. Quote, "Ayo, it's a real publicly is misspelled. MedBeds, OMG, wait, is this real public? Y'all I praying this true, I've been posting about since 2020, and my family and so-called friends looked at me like I was crazy. This better be real because I know my discernment is not wrong, damn it." End quote. Let's get this straight. A shitty little scam Instagram profile somehow bounces a fake video about medical policy that isn't real to a social platform owned by the President of the United States, after which another little scam profile shouts out that they hope it's real, and then the president puts out a fake video of him saying a whole bunch of radically untrue policy things that are not technologically possible, because what? What is the justification here? Again, not a meme, not a joke, policy statements about medical care with a fabricated appeal to authority by masking it as a Fox News interview, which didn't happen, when a lot of people in this country are very concerned right now about their ability to afford hospital bills. By the way, this also has undeniable ripple effects. If we go back to that same initial scam Instagram page as of 14 hours ago, they were posting this, which is a falsified video of a Trump MedBed hospital saying it's open and available for quantum healing, with manipulated footage to show them inserting an American gold card and then selecting cancer treatment next to Trump's face on a touchscreen, all of which is digitally altered. The President of the United States has now made it exponentially easier to prey on desperate patients by amplifying false promises that you can lay down in a medical bed, regrow limbs, treat cancer, or cure all diseases, and that there's a limited number of these cards available, so you better act fast, while the website where you buy these so-called cards, the limited number, is one of the most obvious examples when it comes to predatory fraud that you can possibly imagine. Of course, all of this wouldn't be nearly as bad, okay? It wouldn't be if we had robust protection mechanisms, but we don't. Under the very same president who just promoted this medical scam, the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, has been shut down. Not downsized, not overhauled, shut down. But if you want to focus on this particular example, the relevant agency who would prosecute here would be the FTC, more specifically Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act, Deceptive Acts and Practices. Well, the FTC is supposed to be governed by 5 commissioners, one acting as chair. No more than 3 of those commissioners are allowed to be from the same political party, and yet, as of very recently, the Trump administration has been allowed by the Supreme Court to fire the 2 Democratic commissioners. What that means, the point I'm trying to make, is that the president himself has now promoted an objective, undeniable, irrefutable medical scam to the American people, while the agency responsible for prosecuting that sort of activity is only controlled, as we can see there are only 3 commissioners right now, the agency responsible for accountability on that is only controlled by his political allies. Honestly, I don't know what else there is to say about this. I'm not even going into the reasons why those 2 commissioners were fired well before the expiration of their terms. But if the agency does nothing about this, that is open corruption, abject failure, and indefensible ineptitude by the highest office in the land. I don't make the rules, okay? One could theoretically argue that this is merely social media, a post by an individual, even if he's the president. But Trump routinely uses Truth Social to make global demands, unveil policy to the American people, and advocate for various political positions. This is not a small issue. And once again, I challenge any supporter of his to justify for me why this behavior is acceptable. You can't, because it isn't. That's it. Tried to keep it short this time. If you want to support the channel, there's links down below. The video sponsor, Ground News, of course, a special VPN deal, locals on Patreon, monthly memberships, and more. But I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching, question everything, and have a nice night.